going to get that and hope for a good roll or one of those high hops. It would amount darn near like an onside kick.
Number 88, Freddie Solomon, made a good play to keep hands off because that was a hard ball to handle.
And he knew that if it goes in the end zone, he'd have to jump on it. But if it has enough power to go through the end zone, they get the ball in the 20.
And that's where they'll start from. That is Joe Montana's wife, who must be enjoying things so far. Cash, your husband's had a good first half.
With that smile on her face, she looked like she knew it, didn't she?
Earl Cooper goes in motion, and Montana goes back to work. The blitz is on, and Ross Browner takes him down. The first sack of the day by the Bengals. And the whole thing's turning around. Ross Browner first there.
So this is what we were talking about at halftime. We see Bobby Kemp comes from the outside, and then they let Browner go. He takes the inside. Ross Browner coming right here, and he was a teammate of Joe Montana's at Notre Dame.
Big Ross Browner, four-year pro, one of many first-round draft choices, 10 in fact on this Cincinnati team.
The entire defensive line are all first-round draft choices.
It'll be second down 19 from the 49er 11. Montana going deep. That was up for grab. Solomon dropped it. And now it's loose. It's incomplete. Lewis Breeden and Byron Hicks back with Solomon.
You know, over the years, Pat, they've always talked about teams in Super Bowl, how they get conservative and they just play defense and run things. Neither one of these teams have been conservative. The 49ers have the lead, but look at the things they're trying to do. Boom, they're going deep up, making big plays. Cincinnati's coming back. This is the way. This is the football of the 80s.
Both of them have never wavered from their statements at the very beginning. The pass is what got us here. That's the only thing we're going to do. Cincinnati fans at the moment going wild. 3rd and 19. Line of scrimmage, the 11. And now they'll coast a bit. Ricky Patton, the ball carrier, hit by Reggie Williams first. And Miller will have to come on to punt.
There's Reggie Williams. Did he make a great play on that? He was a right side linebacker. The ball went to the other side, and he really runs the ball carrier down. Now watch him. He comes like he's shot out of a cannon there. Flattens out right down the line of scrimmage. Sprints. Now watch that tackle right through Ricky Patton. What an effort.
That's called desire. Miller at the goal line with the bare foot. Cross the center. Good snap. That'll hang for a while. This is Fuller at the 38. Mike Fuller gets it into San Francisco territory. Keena Turner made the stop. Well, now, we were talking about all those big leads and nobody's ever come back and all that other statistical stuff, but it's 20-7 now.
The new Subaru Brat has sleek, aerodynamic lines.
Just tell him it's good looking.
Front and on-demand four-wheel drive.
Say it can climb.
A Halo twin roof.
It's a window.
And it's engineered to withstand the elements.
That means it's tough.
The new Subaru Brat. Inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Just tell him it saves you money, buster.
Way down deep inside of every man, there's a little boy, an Atari fan, and without any doubt, the boy will come out when he plays a game from Atari. Have you played Atari today?
Give a man an Atari game and he'll turn into a little boy. But don't worry, he'll be grown up enough to share it.
Have you played Atari today?
Next Sunday on CBS Sports, the NBA All-Star Game. Expected to lead the East-West Clash will be the Doctor, Julius Erving, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Basketball's greatest next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Here's Steve Kreider. He's going to rush the punter. Now, his first job is to rush the punter, make him kick the ball. After the ball is kicked, he stops. Now he has to hold up number 85, Mike Wilson, who's on the punt coverage team. Watch how they hold each other up. Look at this. That looks like something you see in that bulldogging event.
Hard to tell who's holding up whom.
And the official was right there watching the whole thing. You see him?
Stuckey on defense for San Francisco at the left defensive end. Alexander and Pete Johnson, the backs for Cincinnati, and now it's only Johnson. First down, Cincinnati at the 49er. Started at the 49, now it's about the 46. Over on the Cincinnati bench.
They're talking about their defense with Hank Fuller, and you see what they're trying to do. It looks like they're going to get, there's Reggie Williams, he's talking about getting more straight. Looks like they want to play their linebackers a little more tight.
Fred Dean and his group coming in from the 49er sideline. Hank Fuller, who Forrest Gregg described as having a lot of schemes.
A lot of schemes, a lot of tricks.
Second down and 7. Passing down for Cincinnati. They've got a guy who can do it. Outside Collinsworth, he can't hang on. Dean is out there quickly, thinking possibly it might have been a lateral, but it wasn't.
It was interesting in that last drive. Cincinnati had a lot of success with 3 wide receivers in the game. They started on first down with 3 wide receivers, and now we see on this down they're going to have 4 wide receivers.
4 wide receivers. This time they've got Purser and Kreider all in the game. Two to the left and 2 to the right. Johnson, the deep back. Anderson scrambles. Anderson runs out of bounds. Not much he could do. Bobby Leopold knocked him out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and about 6 or 7.
Some fan came on the field and took Chris Collinsworth's chin strap from him. Chris started to chase him. I'm sure they'll punt the ball here. They have plenty of time.
Yeah. Collinsworth lost a shoulder pad strap as well as a chin strap. Tough day, tough play for Chris.
That's what he told you the other day. He said the program says I'm a rookie, and the newspapers say I'm a rookie, but this body tells me I'm not.
McAnally in the direction of Solomon, who puts up the fair catch signal, but there's a penalty marker down. Has to be a Bengal illegally downfield, I think. 32-yard punt by McAnally.
An eligible man downfield, number 36.
Be interesting here, whether the 49ers make them kick it again or they take the ball there and turn down the penalty, which looks like they're going to do.
Well, you got the ball clean.
An eligible man downfield, number 36, decline, first down.
They'll take over at the 15. It was Jim Hargrove who was down too quickly, and Bill Walsh deep in thought. 20-7, he leads.
Ever since I was a kid, I've hated to wait.
Hey guys, Willie Mays outside!
Whenever there was a shortcut, I took it. I still hate to wait. So when I rent a car, I get a Hertz #1 Express Pass. That way I don't have to wait in line at the rental counter. I go right to the #1 Express booth where my car is waiting for me. Ask Hertz for a #1 Express Pass and stop waiting.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, Southern style. The style and grace that is the South is reflected in one great beer, Michelob. That smooth and mellow taste has its own special way of saying, y'all come back and see us anytime.
There's nothing better on a rainy night in Georgia.
Put a little weekend in your week. Yeah.
Are the Russians developing chemical weapons? If we join the race, are the risks too great? The dangers too frightening? Going after the answers on the CBS Evening News Monday.
That is Sean Weatherly, a former Miss Universe, whose regular companion is Dwight Clark, number 87 for the 49ers.
What a year they've had. They're both alumni of Clemson, who was #1 in the colleges, and here they are in the Super Bowl, leading 20-7.
Dwight Clark's had a good year on and off the field. Earl Cooper swings to the left, formed on by Ross Browner. Underneath Jim LeClaire.
This Cincinnati Bengal team looks like a different team this second half, don't they, than they did the first. I mean, they're crisp on offense. They're sharp. They're moving very well on defense.
Doing just exactly what you said they had to do and what you thought they'd do. Don't come out firing from the hip. Stick to what you do best. San Francisco has -7 yards so far in this half. 7:54 left in the third quarter. Draw play to Bill Ring. Hit down by Eddie Edwards.
Well, the thing is, we could say that the 49ers are turning conservative in the second half, but I don't believe that, because what they've had is they've really had some poor field position. I think that Bill Walsh and Joe Montana would like to get a little better field position before they start really opening up.
Now the Bengals make some substitutions. They come in with a pass rush group that includes Mike St. Clair and Gary Burley, and an extra defensive back, Ray Griffin. Will they blitz? Will they blitz?
I think they may put pressure on Montana here, yeah.
Montana rolls right to get away from it, throws upfield. That won't be a first down. It's complete to Ring. Ray Griffin knocked him out of bounds. Listen to the Cincinnati fans.
Well, they can feel it too. The Bengals came out this first half and they weren't really crisp like they are now. They got something there at halftime. As we said, they really look a lot different, don't they?
Miller again in for San Francisco, number 3. His 2 punts have been effective, 45.5-yard average. Mike Fuller is number 42. There's a guy who's glad this game is not outside.
He has to wear a sock on one leg. Did you see that little red thing he has on his right leg? They call that a sock.
He hangs another one high and chases Fuller back deep. Fuller again gets it back close to midfield. Tina Turner made the tackle. There's Mike Fuller. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
I'll bet every one of these players somewhere will see a tape of this game. They'll never forget this day.
Ken Anderson, who has scored the touchdown for the Bengals on a run, not a scramble. Alexander out wide to the left on the other side of Collinsworth. Anderson again tries to run. Penalty marker goes down. It's got to be a violation against Ross, the tight end, who was trying to block.
I'm sure you're right. That was Dan Ross, the tight end. He came out like he was trying to get a release, and then he was blocking the linebacker. I think he just held on to him. It was Willie Harper who he was blocking.
49ers have already indicated they'll take it. Sure, that comes as no surprise.
Dan Ross has really been something for this team, hasn't he? What was Forrest Gregg telling us?
Said when he first came, and he took a look. Here's Haggerty.
Holding, number 89, offense.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Watch him here now. See, the right hand starts out there. You see the right hand? That's outside the plane of the defensive man's body. So that was holding right off the bat. His first move was holding.
And that was continued holding throughout the entire block.
That was a lock on and hold on.
Got 3 wide receivers to the left. Anderson will look for him. He has Ross wide open. Ross cuts back upfield. Gets to the 49er 44. And here comes another penalty marker down. That's going to be against Kreider, who hit Ronnie Lott after the play was over.
This is one thing in the heat of battle that you try and keep everyone calm. That's what Forrest Gregg is saying. He's saying, just calm down. Just calm down. We have to play.
Back to the story of Ross, who just caught that pass. Forrest Gregg said when he first got to Cincinnati, first took over, he looked at films and he looked at Ross and he said, the first thing we got to do is get us a tight end.
Personal foul.
He said, it turns out I was wrong and really wrong.
They said, Paul Brown says no. He said, don't say that until you see him. I think you'll like him.
He caught 71 passes this year.
This is a big penalty here that really hurts the Bengals because that's going to amount to close to 25 or 30 yards of penalty after the gain and then the penalty.
Personal foul. Dead ball foul. The count counts. Down counts. So it is second down.
Dead ball foul. It applies in football and basketball.
See, now Ross is down. The play is over now. The whistle is blown. Now watch number 42, Ronnie Lott. And we'll see Steve Kreider come in from the right of your screen and hit him. See, the play's all over. Lott is relaxing. And that, of course, is the 15-yard penalty.
There can be no question about that. Again, 3 wide receivers, however. It'll be second down. That down counted. Anderson into the pocket. Dean chasing and has him. Red Dean from behind.
That was the same pattern that they completed before. Now watch Fred Dean here. We'll see him start up the field and just take that outside move. See, Munoz gets his hands on him. Fred Dean just keeps playing. Watch, now he'll come in and he'll get Anderson from behind.
You couldn't say that was a bad job by Munoz.
No, he did a nice job, but it was a great job by Dean, who just stayed with it. Now see the 3 wide receivers, the 3 defensive backs all running with him. Real good coverage. That's why Anderson couldn't throw the ball.
Third and long, and Anderson will try to throw again. Again, Dean in pursuit. Deep for Collinsworth. He's open. Got it. Penalty marker down. Eric Wright was back there with him, but Collinsworth over the shoulder and to the outside.
What a great catch that was. You know, Chris Collinsworth can run. He has good moves in the ins and outs, but he has great deep speed. He was, what, 4'5", wasn't he?
Right.
Defensive pass interference, number 21, decline. First down.
First down, Cincinnati.
What a comeback from the Bengals. After that, they had the penalty. They come right back. You see him give a little move there that held right. And then with that next step, he was able to go up the field and right by him. And what a catch. Going downfield, looking directly back over his head. Whew, what a throw and a catch.
Forrest Gregg said we had some doubts about him. Long legs, long arms, long neck. But we kept looking at that 4'5", and as soon as we saw him in camp, we knew we had us a jewel.
And he has been.
First down, Bengals. A 14-yard line at San Francisco. This is Alexander trying to cut back inside. Can't do much. 49er pursuit is excellent. Jack Reynolds, the hacksaw, first to arrive.
There's Ken Anderson's wife, and now she looks happy. She does. What a great throw Ken just made, Bonnie. She looked like she was trying not to smile.
They're still behind by 13. They score on this drive. We'll see some more teeth.
A lot of yelling by these people in orange.
That's the book on Anderson so far. 2nd and 9 from the 13. Anderson will put it up. Looking, can't find any place to go. That's the 4th sack by the 49ers. He gets back to the 15 for a loss of perhaps 2 yards.
And you see who that sack was? That was Jack Reynolds. You know, that time, I'm sure. Now, watch him right here in front of our screen, 64. He starts on a blitz. Now, he is going to get right in front of Anderson. Don't let him run. I'm sure that's his assignment. And you see Hacksaw come in from behind and get him. They've had enough of that Anderson running, so now they let their defensive lineman rush, send the linebacker just for Anderson.
That Hacksaw was taped when he had his eggs for breakfast. Third down, 11. They put Kreider in motion. Anderson looking for time and throws. He has Ross. He had a first down at one time. 49ers knocked him backwards, and he had to come back to catch the pass.
This will be an interesting spot, because if he catches the ball there and he's knocked backwards, it should be a first down, but it's not. Now, watch this. Here's Dan Ross. You see, he's going to drive upfield on Carlton Williamson and drive back and make the catch. Now, to catch that ball, to beat Williamson, he had to work back a little, and that lost him the first down. So this is a big, big one, 4th and about a foot.
They're going to go. You question this at all, John?
I think this is going to go to Pete Johnson.
Johnson rambles for the first down to the 3. Jack Reynolds stopped him. First down, Cincinnati. Excuse me, I was just going to ask you if you think Forrest Gregg ever had any doubt about going for it.
I don't think he did. When you have a fullback like Pete Johnson, who weighs over 250 pounds, you're playing in the Super Bowl, you have to be able to make a yard. You see, he gets a lead block there by Alexander. And you see when he hits that pile, the whole pile went backwards.
Cincinnati has 8 first downs in this quarter. San Francisco has 0. None.
What a difference a half makes.
Wow. Anderson up quickly. 49ers get in a late substitute. Anderson puts a man in motion. He again gives to Johnson, and Pete gets down close. Looks like he's about a half-yard short.
Well, that was an interesting formation. It was a split backfield. Now watch it. You see they get the motion to get a little thing in the secondary there, and they just hand to Pete Johnson, who's just straight ahead, man-to-man blocking. We see Blair Bush, number 58, does an excellent job of getting Johnson a little crease.
Bush put the block and the knock and the takedown on Archie Reese. Second down and goal for Cincinnati. Ball inside the 1. Johnson again. This time he is hit by Jack Reynolds and knocked backwards, if you can believe that.
We talk about Jack Reynolds and the way that he studies. He knows down here. Watch his determination. Look at that. This is goal line. This brings out everything in a person. Now watch it. He's watching Pete Johnson right away. He sees him. He goes right to the hole, turns up when Johnson does, meets him square, and that's the end of Pete Johnson going forward.
Reynolds led with his head, and he stays. 11th play in this drive coming up. Anderson will look and throw. Alexander does not get in. Dan Buns is the 49er who hit him at the half-yard line. We got to go again, and that's what Forrest Gregg has already said. Go for it.
Look, he's going to take a timeout because he wants to, 1, he has 4th down. He only has 1 play. He wants to, 1, talk about it, and 2, make sure that he's making the right decision.
He needs a half-yard.
This was a great tackle by Dan Buns. He's a backup linebacker. Over the years, he has been a starter, but this should have been a touchdown here. When this is completed here, Alexander turns, and Buns was right there. Whew, that's great coverage on the goal line.
Outstanding. Outstanding. That's what they have left. Just less than a yard. Anderson over talking with the offensive coordinators and with Forrest Gregg. Bill Walsh has to be wondering about, I suppose, philosophy, although you can't question what he's done. He hadn't had anything to work with.
He's thinking he hasn't had a first down this half. You know what would be a pretty good play, Ken, here while you're going in, is fake the ball to Pete Johnson, keep it yourself, and bootleg it into the end zone. I think that would get it.
Or what about continuing with that? If somebody forces Anderson, he might have somebody in the end zone. Breech is getting ready, just in case.
I think Breech is getting ready to kick off.
I think that's exactly what Forrest Gregg has in mind for him at the moment. Forrest Gregg is quite a man, really. You hear a lot of talk about him being such a strict disciplinarian, and he admits it because he said, I've seen it succeed. Let's see if Kenny Anderson can succeed. give to Johnson, and I don't know. The 49ers don't think he made it.
It was on the bottom of that pile. Jack Reynolds again, number 64. Watch this. Now everyone gets low. It's goal line. Defense gets low. They beat them down there. The defense beat the offense. You see them, they got underneath the offensive line and got penetration. Watch these first moves of the defensive linemen. They're down low. Now Hacksaw can come over the top and stop the penetration.
There were a lot of folks on the bottom, and Hacksaw was on the top. That's a team effort for San Francisco's defense.
Introducing
At Summerall with John Madden, Super Bowl 16, brought to you by CBS Sports. 49ers lining up in their own end zone, a great goal line stand by their defensive cohorts. They lead 20-7. You give us to Ring. He gets out to about the 3 or 3.5. Glenn Cameron, the tackler. Let's look at that goal line play again.
Watch this again. Watch this play. All those white jerseys look like the whole 49er defense was there. And then watch after the play when they know that they stopped. And watch Ronnie Lott here, number 42. Look at Archie Reese. He's staying down there and exciting. He's the leader of that type of group.
They just flat beat him off the ball. The defense beat the offense off the ball. Second down for Montana and his offense. Ring again. Ring is tripped up and hit down at about the 8. Bobby Kemp, Cincinnati's tackler. It'll be third down.
You know, that series and that drive is one that's going to be talked about a long time when you talk about Super Bowl 16. It was a great drive by the Bengals. They had 12 plays. They had the ball for 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
That's Leclerc, who seems to have injured his left knee. And he is being looked at. A 10-year pro. Cincinnati, up until this present drive right here, had outgained San Francisco 138 yards to 3 yards. Max Montoya with the ice pack on the left knee. Leclerc's up. Big third down play for San Francisco. They don't have a first down in this half yet. 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter. See if we can see what happened.
Looked like he hyperextended his knee on this play. We'll see 55 right there. You see him, he takes on the block. Now watch his knee buckle under, and then he goes back right over both of his knees.
Rick Rossano will take his place. 10-year veteran Leclerc comes out. Third down, the 49ers need 3 for a first. The line of scrimmage is the 8-yard line. Montana, of course, gets his signals from the sideline. He'll have Ricky Patton and Earl Cooper as his 2 running backs.
He probably won't run a play. They'll wait for the third quarter to end. They'll just stay in the huddle until the gun goes off for the third quarter.
Montana already has headed for the bench as the third quarter winds down. And that's it. The gun ends it. 138 yards to 3, not including that last sequence by San Francisco in the third quarter. They lead 20-7.
Seems it's always been like that.
All right, as you look at the defense of San Francisco, Montana calls him. Ricky Patton in motion. Montana gives on a draw play to Cooper. He won't make it. Ross Browner was the first man to hit him.
We were talking that was a big play, and that was because Cincinnati didn't get in the last time they had it, but now they're going to get the ball right back again. Ross Bronner made a big play, shot inside of Dan Audick to catch Earl Cooper.
Jim Miller has had a good day. Mike Fuller back deep for Cincinnati. People forget that the center has a lot of responsibility in a situation like this, too. It's Randy Cross, who was drafted as a center, now goes to the Pro Bowl as a guard.
The Bengals may have a punt block on here.
Not one of Miller's best, but it does take a good bounce, but right to Fuller. Not much doing as the 49er coverage is there quickly. Mike Thomas, the first man down. 44-yard punt. 60 minutes will be coming up following football, except on the West Coast, where you'll see it at its regular time. Super Bowl 16 is the football you're looking at with one more quarter to go. 13:58 remaining. Bengals have it at their own 44.